All right, today we're going to tackle a math problem that seems super simple, but it's actually really tricky. It's one of those things that stumps a ton of people, but don't you worry, we're going to clear this whole thing out for good. Okay, let's just jump right in. Here's the problem. 10 divided by 2 times 5. So take a second, no calculators now, try to solve it in your head. You got a number? Awesome, just hang on to that for a minute. So here's the thing. This little equation almost always gets people to one of two answers, either 1 or 25. I bet you've seen this kind of thing blow up online, right? Well, only one of them is right. Which one do you think it is? Which one did you get? So what's the deal? How can one problem have two such different answers? Well, it all boils down to one simple thing: the order you do the math in. Do you divide first or do you multiply first? Because whichever path you take, you end up in a totally different place. To make sure math works for everyone, everywhere, we need a single set of rules, a universal playbook, so to speak. That way, we all get the same answer to the same problem. And in the world of math, that playbook is called the order of operations. So how on earth are we supposed to remember these rules? Well, there's a little trick, an acronym that's been floating around math classes forever. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. PEMDAS. Yeah, PEMDAS. It's basically our roadmap. Each letter stands for something, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. It's supposed to be this handy checklist for any problem with a bunch of different operations. And of course, to help us remember the letters, there's that classic phrase, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." I mean, this thing is ancient. I'm pretty sure our grandparents were learning this one back in the day. Okay, but here's the twist. Even with PEMDAS and our dear Aunt Sally, a whole lot of people still land on the wrong answer. They get 1. So let's dig into why that happens. This is where the confusion starts. The big trap here is seeing PEMDAS as this super strict step-by-step list. You look at it, you see M for multiplication, it comes before D for division, and your brain goes, aha, I have to multiply before I divide, always. But that's not exactly how it works. And that right there, that's the mistake. If you follow that logic, you do 2 times 5 first, which gives you 10. Then you're left with 10 divided by 10, which equals 1. This is hands down the most common way people misinterpret the rule. But hey, you know what? If you got 1, that's totally fine. In fact, I'm glad you did. Seriously, because now we can fix this little misunderstanding and you'll never get tripped up by it again. It's a super common mistake, so no worries at all. All right, it's time to pull back the curtain and reveal the real secret of PEMDAS. See, it's not a rigid 6-step ladder. There's a crucial little detail that changes the whole game. It's called the left-to-right rule. So here's the key. Don't think of PEMDAS as 6 separate steps. Think of it more like 3 levels. And on some of those levels, you have operations that are partners. Multiplication and division, they're on the same team. Same thing for addition and subtraction. They work together. And this is the most important part. On these teams, they have equal priority. One isn't more important than the other. So how do you decide which one to do first? It's simple. You just solve them as they appear from left to right, just like you're reading a sentence in a book. So let's rethink our process. Step 1, you scan the problem for any parentheses or exponents. You always do those first. Step 2, you scan again from left to right, and you do any multiplication or division, whichever comes first. Then, step 3, you do one last scan, left to right, for any addition or subtraction. Okay, now that we have the real rule, let's go back to our problem and try it again the right way. Time to see this new and improved PEMDAS in action. All right, here we are. 10 divided by 2 times 5. So we scan from left to right. Are there any parentheses or exponents? Nope. Okay, next scan. Multiplication or division? What do we hit first reading from the left? The division. So we do that first. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. And now our problem is much simpler, just 5 times 5. And the last step is easy. 5 times 5 is 25. And there you have it, the correct answer. Isn't that wild? Just by applying that one simple left-to-right rule, we end up with a completely different answer. It just goes to show how much that little detail matters. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Go ahead, try it. Pull out your phone, open the calculator, and type in 10 divided by 2 times 5. It's programmed with the correct order of operations, and I guarantee it's going to spit out the number 25. So why do we even care about this? Well, because math has to be a universal language, right? These rules make sure that a scientist in Japan and an engineer in Brazil can look at the very same equation and get the very same result. It's all about consistency. So if you remember anything, remember this. M and D are partners. A and S are partners. And you always work from left to right.
It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a rule this basic is so easy to get wrong, what other simple little things from school might we have forgotten? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.